Okay, I'm going to go through the key things that we learn from the Machteret Breita. And primarily, I want you to see structurally how we figure out these two Breitot. So, here's the text just of the first Breita. Now the question is, what type of text is this? And the key signal that's going to tell you is, the first thing you're going to see is this. You know, Tanu Rabbanan and Tanya Idach, they're Breitot. The Talmud Lamar is language of Midrash Halacha. For Midrash Halacha, you first are going to look for which words are quotes from the Psukim and which Psukim. So, the first phrases that are going to give you information are Talmud Lamar. First of all, that always introduces words from a pasuk, and that's an answer to a question. So A, it's an answer, and B, it's whatever came before is a question. And psukim. And the converse, Ma Talmud Lamar, is a question about words from psukim. Talmud Lamar is, oh, that's why it said, the Torah says these words to tell us X, Y, or Z. The question is asking, why does the Torah say those words? The other key structural term, in Cain. If so, it's a follow-up question. If what you said is true, then further question. So, now, with that information, you have something that looks like this. Talmud Lamar is an answer, which means that whatever came before is a question. In Cain is introducing now a follow-up with Ma Talmud Lamar. Again, a question. Mipnei Sheh is a term that you know is going to introduce an answer to a question. Second of all, Talmud Lamar gives us two words. Right? We look right there, we find words from our verses. Ma Talmud Lamar, we find a word from our verse. And then we cycle back and say, oh, here at the beginning, another word from our verse, which shouldn't surprise us once we know it's Midrash Halacha, because we have seen in other places, both in the previous sugya with Zarcha Shemesh and in the little Midrash Halacha pieces from the Mishnah in Ben Sura Moreh, that Midrash Halacha often begins with words from a verse. So now we have a very neat structure, 4 little statements. Question, answer, question, answer. Other key terms, in li ella. In plus ella, you know. In li ella means I only have, or in this case, I only know. I only know about. And minayin, from where do we learn? The key thing about minayin here is that often we'll begin a sentence. Here, it turns out, it's ending a sentence. It's a question word. It can come at the end rather than the beginning of a sentence sometimes. Now, we're a little more ready to figure out what are we actually saying. Machteret. The Torah says Machteret. Ein li ella Machteret. I only know about one case. Minayin. How do I know about these other cases? Remember, minayin is only asking how do I know that such and such is true. It is not asking whether it's true. It's presuming that, in this case, the law applies to those cases also. It's only asking how do I know that. Then Talmud Lomar is going to tell us, oh, these words tell us that. We know you can kill in self-defense when necessary, no matter how it comes in. Where do we get that from? From the words yimatzeh hagana. That's a little bit tricky. We will talk a little bit more about how we're reading the verse later. But the answer, if this is true, that the rule doesn't only apply to Machteret. It applies to Gag, Chatzer, and Karpet. Also, then, right, if that's so, why does it say this word? Answer. What's the answer? It's just the most common example. For them, Ganavim often, commonly were found in this type of place. It was just an example, not meant to be exclusive. There's more to say about this, but that's the structure.